At the end of the day, Ash has made it clear she is doing it her way, and we respect that. I don't know what's next. Like everything with Ash does, she goes for it. We wouldn't mind if she took a break and then changed her mind again, but I think we can only hope on that. For Barty, the evolution from a thought bubbling in the background to planning how the news would be announced created a momentum of its own. It felt like I knew what I wanted to officially retire, and I needed to give myself time to be sure, Barty said just over 24 hours after the shock decision was revealed via an Instagram interview with close friend and former doubles partner Casey Delacroix. Loading, it probably hit home for certain when I'd told Tyzz and Nikki and my team and made those phone calls and sat down with them and kind of planned what we were going to do with this release and how we were going to let the rest of the world know. But that was probably the only solid moment when we put the plan in place. I think that the feeling was gradual and then, yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since. Barty and her team revealed this week that the most serious thoughts about walking away after she fulfilled her biggest childhood dream by winning Wimbledon. It turns out Barty was acutely aware, at the time of her Australian Open campaign in January, that her irrepressible women's final victory over American Danielle Collins could be her final match. Ashbarti with coach Craig Tyzzer in Brisbane on Thursday. Eddie Jim Watt was a touch eyebrow-raising in Brisbane on Thursday, when Barty faced persistent questioning from reporters about whether golf, or AFLW, was suddenly on the agenda, was that Barty's thoughts about retirement were first voiced in 2019, albeit half-jokingly, to Tyzzer, when the renowned hardcourt star won on the red dirt of Roland Garros. Ash probably remembers, even after her first Grand Slam win, I had prepared this speech about how profound this was going to be and what it meant to her, Tyzzer said. The first thing she said to me was, "Can I retire now?" Loading Barty later downplayed that offhand comment, pointing out she immediately had fresh motivation with the lure of becoming world #1 around the corner. I don't know if any part of me was serious. It was tongue-in-cheek, knowing that the next week, we had the opportunity to be the #1 ranked player in the world, Barty says. Always I saw the opportunity of what was to come. For us at Birmingham to win that tournament, next up in 2019, and to become #1 was another thing that I never knew if I would get to experience. Having been by Barty's side since she returned to tennis in 2016 and started a memorable climb up the rankings, Tyzzer backs her decision. The first signs of the challenge to maintain Barty's motivation came hot on the heels of Wimbledon. Staying fresh and driven is akin to safely negotiating your way back down from the Everest summit. That winning Wimbledon was an obvious goal for us, Tyzzer said. Once we got to the Tokyo Olympics, it sort of hit home for me that there wasn't much left in her. The motivation wasn't there except when she played doubles with Storm Sanders and mixed with John Peers. Her singles sort of went by the wayside. I felt that she'd climbed to where she needed to get to, and it was going to be a hard slog to keep her involved. To her credit, Barty rediscovered her best form in her brilliant Australian Open run, when she didn't drop a set. The insatiable appetite of leading players for majors has been a distinctive part of men's tennis in the Federer-Nadal-Djokovic era, with each having won 20 major titles, and Nadal claiming a 21st at Melbourne Park. But Tyzzer believes that gives perspective to Barty's achievements. It speaks volumes for who she is, Tyzzer says. I mean, how many Grand Slams are enough? While Barty's sudden exit poses immediate challenges for Tennis Australia and the Australian Open's need for highly marketable names, it also touches on some issues for the game globally. While Barty remarkably officially retires before Serena and Venus Williams both in their 40s, the time is coming for them and other greats such as Roger Federer. The sport needs to shift its focus to the young guns. Having always marched to the beat of her own drum, Barty's decision to walk away from tennis twice, both times entirely at her choosing, could act as a salient reminder to other players who have battled with the grind of tour life to prioritize their well-being and make the decisions that are right for them. Loading in the past 12 months, for example, one of Barty's top contemporaries, Naomi Osaka, has taken time out, admitting to mental health challenges. Without commenting specifically on any other player's circumstances in Australia or beyond, Barty is well placed to give advice to those struggling to find their way. Everyone is unique and going through different challenges in their career, Barty says. I found my happiness when I was comfortable in my own skin and comfortable to be me. I felt like I never tried to be anyone I wasn't, but being me brought out the best in my team, my best tennis results, and also brought out the most happiness. As Barty has begun to live out the existence of a former tennis pro, preparing for her wedding this year to longtime partner Gary Kissick, the self-described homebody has enjoyed the simple pleasures of everyday life. These were what she craved and why she has walked away from millions in potential endorsements and prize money. She has savored one thing in particular. A really nice routine that I've been in over the last few weeks. Just afternoon kind of 5:30-6 o'clock, as the sun goes down, is just throwing the ball to my dog for half an hour. It's just been the most magic time, Barty says.